Good morning, friends. Jill here, and welcome back to the farm. It has been kind of we're going to go out in the garden. I'm going to show you guys in a second, but it's been this dreary last few days. We've had rain that's coming in, which has been bringing just these lovely cooler temperatures. It's been so great. So we're going to take a walk through the garden today. Every year when I come outside at the end of October, even into November, and we still have just like so much abundance in the garden, I'm always just super thankful for my growing zone. Because our dahlias are crazy. I think we're actually gonna harvest a couple. Hi, it's okay. Let me show you guys though. It's still not quite cool enough to pop row cover on anything, which is nice because we will have moved out a lot of the summer flowers before we put row cover on our overwintered flowers. But let's take a look. It's like new life, right? And then just the reality of the shifting seasons that we're in. So much rain. And so it's just crazy. You see flowers going to seed, you see dead flowers, and then you look and you see new life. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. You can see here though, plants are starting to die back out here just because it's a little cooler. Some stuff's rotting, but we are going to be harvesting these. There's so much beauty out here. It's kind of crazy, but I feel like every year there's this certain day when you walk outside and you can just look around at the garden and you're like, oh, yep, the season has officially shifted. And while there's still so much life here on the farm, you can tell it is the ending of one season for sure. I think the squash are showing signs of that, right? They don't really enjoy those cold temperatures. The flowers have produced all spring and all summer, and now they're starting to look pretty worn out and tired. And so I don't know, today was one of the first days that I walked outside. I saw the dew. It was crisp, right? And I thought, wow, the seasons have officially shifted. Gosh, I'm going to soak up these flower harvests as long as I can because I know, as beautiful as they are right now, they are fleeting and they will not last long. Honestly, I used to dread this time of year every year because for so many years we never actually grew year-round. Not because we didn't live in a place where we could. We live in a very neutral zone and we always have. But mainly because, oh yeah, look, you don't realize how cold it's getting until you come outside and you see frost. I'm so glad I've been harvesting these beans because they're definitely showing signs. In fact, it looks like some sort of critter, I don't know, has been in here, but look at this. They're just everywhere. We've been putting up a ton of beans. You'll actually see that next week. But look what we have here. Ooh. So for years, it's a lima bean. So I actually used to dread this time of year. You know, you would spend all spring and all summer starting seeds and sowing them and preserving them and doing your due diligence as a gardener. But then with just one simple frost, it could literally be gone in the blink of an eye. And I would sit there and I'd be like, oh man, did I do enough? Did I grow enough? Did I put up enough? You know, and I would just go through all the what ifs. But now I've actually come to really appreciate this shifting season. In so many ways, it's just a fantastic reminder that we kind of get to go inward. And while we do grow food year-round here on the farm, it certainly looks different in the fall and the winter than it does in the spring and the summer. And let me tell you, it is a welcome shift, not only for me, but I'm sure for so many of you gardeners out there as well. I did let this little volunteer melon go. So back in the summer, I grew melons on this arch. And obviously it drops seeds. So let's see if we can find any. Oh my gosh. Look at this. It's ready. Some of them are splitting. Just like I'm hanging on to those late summer blooms, this little volunteer melon. I've got, let's see, I probably have 5 or 6 of these out here. So we'll just take this in and eat it with lunch. But you can see it's kind of crazy. We just decided we'd let it go and see if it produced anything before the frost took it. I'm gonna check these lima beans, but some of these frost tender herbs like my lemon balm and stuff, parts of them are dying back. Obviously all my basils will die back. Got some borage that volunteered, but all of our thyme and rosemary and sage, those are gonna be just fine. But I think I'm gonna harvest some herbs, pull them in to dry. Definitely gonna harvest some of these flowers. We actually have a local restaurant that needs some produce and flowers for a farm to table event. And when they reached out, we couldn't say no. So we're going to be harvesting some stuff later in the week for them. But in the meantime, I'm about to harvest all of this volunteer basil. Basil's one of those, it's technically an annual, meaning it'll die back. It won't last throughout the frost, but as you can see, this is the original Tulsi plant, and this is all the volunteers, so it self-seeds really nicely, which is great if you want that. If not, try to contain it. I actually knew that eventually I would want Tulsi to take over everything, and that's exactly what it's done. So let's harvest some. So I'm just snipping. I'm gonna remove the bottom foliage. I'll go inside and wash it really well. I'll bundle it, hang it upside down, and I'll let it dry. You can air dry these. You could put them in the dehydrator or freeze dryer if you have them. Some of these will probably go in the freeze dryer, but hanging them up to dry, your house just smells so good and is obviously a very easy way to preserve your herbs. Oh, season's not gone just yet. I know this is kind of this transitional video, right? Next week we're actually harvesting a ton. The next week we're doing a lot of preservation and stocking the pantry. So I just wanted to kind of take this week, it's a little bit of a shorter video, and just reflect. In fact, last week we didn't have a video because Nathan's dad had passed away. We had family in town with his funeral, celebration of life. When you have moments like that in your life, you just reflect a lot, right? And Nathan and I have found ourselves out here in this garden just soaking in these little beauties that sometimes go missed, right? I hate to say we take them for granted because I feel like we try to be really, really grateful, but sometimes you just miss it. But then when you have those life-shaking moments, you just really have to stop and pause and appreciate everything. And that's kind of what this video is this week for me. It's a video of reflection, to know that the season's about to change. I'm about to walk out in this garden and it's gonna look drastically different in maybe just a week, 2 weeks, maybe we'll get 3 weeks, who knows. And so I just really want to stop and appreciate it for what it is and the abundance that it's given me so far. And just know that we're about to shift into another season, and I really want to embrace that with just so much gratitude. I am going to go ahead and harvest some lemon balm and dry it too. We're kind of transitioning into tea season, so I'll be drinking and making a lot of teas just to nourish. And lemon balm is just so incredible. So I'm gonna grab some of these, get them hanging as well. Oh. I'm gonna smell so good for the rest of the day. It's gonna be great. There we go. Got some dead ones underneath, but overall these have done really well, been super productive for me all summer long. All right. I've officially lost my coffee, but I smell delightful. Present right now. The shift is so present. And I guess, friends, that is the beauty in the ever-changing seasons. Go get this guy in a vase. Cut this up for lunch. Find my coffee. We'll make our way inside. So as the seasons change and we shift into a new groove, we're not waking up super early, beating the heat out in the garden, or coming checking back in super late in the evening, right? The mornings are a little slower. I just encourage you guys so much to embrace this season of reflection while you're still going to be seeing, like I said, a lot of harvesting and preserving. For many people in most zones, this is when they get to really recharge and regroup and dream for the new year ahead. And while we are still growing, there is certainly still a lot of dreaming. I look out my space and I just get so encouraged by what my family's done on a small plot, right? On small acreage, but it also makes me really encouraged by what we could even do better to support our family. But one of the things I'm telling myself in this season is to slow down, embrace it. Don't rush away this season of reflection, because this season, when we slow down, is when we really not only rejuvenate like our bodies, but our minds, right? To be able to tackle the crazy hustle and bustle of the spring and the summer to come. And so as I'm doing some reflections this week, as I'm clearing out some stuff in the garden, some of the plants are taking a little bit of a beating. I just wanted to share it with you guys as well. Rest is not a bad thing. In fact, the seasons shift for a reason, all right? To remind us that we too should also shift and rest and have seasons of hibernation. And I don't know, it's always just a great reminder for me, and hopefully it is for you too. But I really, really hope you'll tune back in next week, as we are harvesting so much that is going to feed our family all throughout the winter. You certainly do not want to miss it. But cheers, you guys, to just a slow week of some really beautiful reflection. See you next week.